Hello everybody. Still healing, but I have a bunch of clips that I really hadn't any clue or idea of how I was going to put them in another video. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make this one pieces, parts, bits, and whatever you want to call it, auction finds. Let's go with that one, auction finds. I've had a heck of a time in the past couple of weeks. Not only did I do this, came in to sit down and start working on this pieces and bits maybe on the computer, and my main computer crashed, lost absolutely everything except my files. So therefore all I had to do was reload it, buy some new software for editing. Took me about 3 days, maybe 4. But I now feel that I'm ready to try to get something put together here. You might see some changes in my editing basis. I'm kind of excited about that. So hang on. Sip that coffee. We're going for an auction find ride. Be back. I went to an auction and look what I got. I have been wanting one of these basically my entire adult life, and I just never could bring myself to it. But when I saw this sitting there, I looked at it, and it's about the right size. It's not the big huge tall tanks, you know, and it's the medium size, more or less. And I looked at it, it looked in pretty decent shape, and I debated and I talked myself into it. I talked myself out of it 2 or 3 times. And then my lovely bride came up and she says, "You need to get this, and you need to get it now. I'm tired of hearing about you complaining about not having one." Yeah, here it is. Actually, she didn't say that, but she just said you need to get it. Because I got another thing to show you too, that my wife insisted that I get. I am such a lucky man to have her. I don't know of too many other men that have a wife quite like her. Be right back with the other day we were in Lowe's. I went one way, my wife went the other, and she came roaring around the corner to me and she says, "You've got to come with me." She says, "You've got to have some money in your pocket because you have to get this." That's it. Now, I have another one back there. I did a video on it, on that one. And I have another one too, a smaller one, that I did a comparison. And now she says I need this one, simply because it was more than half off. They were clearance and getting it out of there. Lowe's finally got themselves a good rolling toolbox, and now they're discontinuing it. Unbelievable. And the features this has is also unbelievable. Oops, sorry. It not only has a real nice size carrying toolbox, and you can see all this inside there. Big, huge. It has, but it has these devices that go into these holes. I don't know if you can read it or not. And it says that it is to be able to clamp your level and T-square in the lid. Again, I don't know too many men that their wife is so willing to help them get tools and toolboxes and stuff. But I got something else to show you too. While we were at that same auction that I got the tank, I picked up a couple other little tools. I don't know if anybody has heard about Wen, but from my investigations, Wen tools are in competition with a lot of your other tools that are medium priced. And somehow or another, the auction house that we went to got about 3 table loads of Wen tools. And I got me a hand planer. This is a good sized one. It is a 4 3/8 inch across. That's bigger than my joiner that I have in the basement that I need to get put together and find a motor for. And then on top of that, I got me another planer. This one is a smaller planer. That one cost me $5. This one cost me $10. Both of them work. Both of them have guides. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Now, one other item. What did I do with it? Because I'm not sure what I can do with it. And it was another $5. Now hold on, I've got to find it. I will be right back. Okay. I want you to look at this. This is, they say it's a drill press clamp. But it's a double stacker that has, not only can you clamp it here, but it's like it goes to a lathe or something, or a metal lathe. I've never seen anything quite like it. I understand why it was at the auction. There's 2 dog ears right here for bolting it down that are gone. But I've got it, the 3 others that are, so it'll be fine. But it's like turning your drill press into a lathe. Unbelievable, if you ask me. We'll figure it out one day. Take it and put it back in the box. But I just wanted to show you these things. And I don't even know if I'll ever upload this, but it just kind of blew me away. And it's like I told my buddy Daryl up at Two Family. We hadn't been to this auction in months. And after all of this, I'm not sure we're going to go back for years. It's too dangerous. You find good buys like this when there's other things that you're looking at too. Okay, be back. Do you know how sometimes you have the absolute most thought through, considered, discussed situations in the world? And no, we're not talking politics here, although I could be. That's a whole different video if I ever decide I want to really do some ranting. Anyway, with a lot of thought, a lot of discussion with Mrs. Stedhomer, we went to another auction. This time, very methodically. One item only was up, well, actually 2. And the whole idea was if we can pick up one, then we won't worry about the second. But being the auction person that I am, I had to stick around. I got that first one, and I had to stick around to think, well, what if? Well, let me show you. The first one was that right there. Got that motor. And I believe I just need a little plug to go in there for the oil and one to go in there. And because it kind of chatters a little bit when you plug it in and unplug it. But it works. And for $4, that wasn't bad. But there's a second item. I actually am not showing this in the condition that I got it. It was actually completely rust covered. It is an old Craftsman joiner. And it comes with the stand, and it had the motor, and everything worked, and it ran. It really did. And I spent the entire day yesterday out here not thinking about turning this camera on, getting it. Look at this. Look how polished. I mean, it was rust covered, and I worked on it, got it all done and taken care of. And then I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and take this rip fence off, which is, you know, just to hold the wood where it belongs, to give it that 90 degree. I took it all loose of this down here. Not to mention, I got this working like it was new. And then this bracket came along. This bracket, as you can see, that slides on there. This goes through there, and then of course this goes through there also to lock this in position, as well as it's like a secondary. Kind of neat, really, because this handle goes back and forth. It works here to lock the angle, and then it works, the top one works to lock this onto there. So when I was putting it in position, I noticed it seemed to give. And then I saw this. Look at that. There's a weld. I did not see that before. It has been welded. This is cast iron. Now look when you turn it up inside there. Look at the crack. Well, I called my best friend Daryl up at Two Family Homesteads and talked to him about it. And I don't really know, with the pressure that's needed for this, I don't think this is fixable. It may be, and I may try it. I get, like he said, get a couple high nickel sticks for welding this back together, and then you know, grind it and work it back down to where I could use it. But I think you can see here, it's just, it was maddening. All day yesterday I was working on this, and as I was going through it, I thought, oh my, this is just unbelievable. I got this whole thing at the auction for next to nothing because it was so rust covered and nobody wanted it. Even the people who work at the auction didn't think it was worth much. So I got it for next to nothing. And then that. So this morning I got up and I went down to the basements because I knew I had one down there. And like I told you, I got that motor for a reason. I got that motor for this reason right there. I had one sitting down there and it's all rusted up. I've had this for years. And the more I look at this, I think the more I like it, except it doesn't have this. So my question is, can I use that here? I don't think so. Or can I make one? And I think I might be able to. But again, I need to get a joiner going quick so that I can do the end tables that we've talked about. So we're going to go real quick. I've already showed you my auction stuff and everything like that. We're going to finish this out with trying to finish that up and see if we can. Homer, I'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed our little trip, or maybe I should say the aftermath of our little trips to the auction. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us thumbs up. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your local auctioneer. We'll catch you all the next time. Bye-bye.